All right, team, welcome back to the Ask Maddie show. We're going to provide a lot of value today, so make sure you stay until the end. We're going to give a little Algorand update. You guys were very happy about us talking about Algorand on the After Hours show from Monday, so we may give a little technical analysis. Maddie might go in on the TA here. We're also going to discuss the chances of lower crypto prices. That would be very scary. Airdrops, our projects that we've been discussing a lot about are ISO 20022 tokens, and which crypto will prevail over the other between Casper and XRP. Maddie, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. I love this show. This is probably the favorite thing that we do for YouTube during the week because I get to, get in tune with what you guys are interested in. It's also just a great time for us to kind of just have some raw thoughts with each other and, just get real with it. So I'm excited to see what you guys want to talk about today.
Team, before we get into the content here, the data, the charts, all that good stuff, become a Crypto Charged member. Go down to the comment section and click the pinned link, the top link in that pinned comment down there. It'll take you directly to our website and you can check us out there. We are from Crypto Charged. You know this. I talk about this every single week on every single show we do. We do a lot of education over there, shows every single week, tools. We got the streams and, a lot of value over there, a lot of what you would get from other places. We've checked out what other people are doing, and there's just not enough information there to really get you acclimated to the crypto market. And so that is what we are here for. When you join up on the platform, you can take the beginner's course, 45-minute course that gets you right integrated into crypto, everything you need to know. And then afterwards, you can watch the consistent investor strategy, which is Maddie's prized possession. It's about 47 minutes. And that is very impactful, teaching you how to invest into crypto, the coins, where to buy, where to sell, all that good stuff. So team, join us over there and you can hop into the Discord afterwards after you join and say hello to us. But let's get into the content here, Maddie. We have a lot of great topics today. I'm very excited because our altcoins are on the move and the portfolio is well into the green. And I was just telling you before the show here, it feels really good. We get a lot of slander every single week about the cryptos we talk about. When we talk about Casper, we hear the slander. When we talk about XRP, we still hear the slander. It's too old. But we are going to get into it today, talking about our favorite altcoins and why you are wrong and why you should not, ever question us ever again. So let's get into it, Maddie. Juizine357 says, you should do more videos on Algorand. And Maddie, we talked about Algorand on the show on Monday today, and I was just wondering, can you give us a little analysis of Algorand, a technical analysis?
Yeah, of course. So like Gavin said, make sure you guys go check out our most recent After Hours show where we did talk a bit about some of the updates to the Algorand network and some of that real world adoption that is setting for Algorand. But let's move to the charts here. So first of all, let's just pull out to the weekly chart here. Let's get a little bit macro with it, guys. Kind of see what's going on here. We have the Kraken chart here. Again, we can't have always looked to at the crypto chart, which we have a little bit of different price action here on the crypto chart compared to Kraken. But nonetheless, I think one of the things when we look at Algorand and a lot of projects that did something very similar to this is that there was a lot of pessimism, basically from May, June, July, August of 23, because we set a new low. And there's a million reasons why you get sometimes different selling pressures, and the people that were all bullish and couldn't be bigger long-term bulls in 2020 and 2021 on Algorand start to disappear, start to walk away, and some of them to never return. Now, does Algorand represent my absolute largest holding? No, but is it something that I definitely did some decent stacking on while we were in some of these bearish periods, and definitely something that I've been tracking for a long time now? Absolutely. Again, this is one of the biggest things that scared people out of the market. So you had 2020 here, you had the low set at 9.9 cents. Let's just call it 10 cents to be square. And you look at when we teetered here. So we set a new low. The new low that was set for the session was 8.3 cents. So we're really just shy of 2 pennies lower than that previous low. For several weeks, you just teetered with the lows, you build some support in there, and you finally get a break back above in here, right? So we actually ended up moving as high as, what was this, 30, 32, 33 cents in here. And of course, have come back down since. Now, this is not unique to Algorand. There's many alts that have done this. Sorry about that, team. Many alts that have done this. So when you get a breakout, meaning you have a bottom that's been formed, you get a very nice move up, showing that you are no longer making lower lows anymore, and instead that trend has reversed, just looking left to right, that we are not consistently making lower lows and lower highs anymore, and we may be making our first series of higher highs and higher lows. That is something that you want to try to join the trend on. So even right now, when you look at where Algorand's at, you're still joining in on what could be the very first series of higher lows being established here. Now, let's come down to the daily chart and let's see what's happening here. Now, it's obviously been a corrective movement in here. You had a distributive structure that forms in here. And again, this is something that we talk about consistently on the show. When you get a first wave of impulse that kicks off, meaning that you are reversing the trend that's intact, the lower lows and lower highs that are being established. After that first set of impulses, seeing a distributive structure followed by a period of markdown is very, very normal. Now, what you do need to see after that to confirm that you're not just, doing some sort of, liquidity grab and then moves lower is you need to establish a higher low. And that is what's happening here. So you look at the low that was established here, looking at 8.5 cents, even the low here at 11 cents, that is a higher low that was established. So low to the high here is about a 40% increase. And a lot of you guys look at higher lows and you think, well, that's not enough of a higher low. So there's not an uptrend here. I'm going to go chase this new project that did 5x this last week because that's going to just keep going up. This guy on Twitter says within 3 weeks, it should be here by this time, right? Which is all parlor tricks. It's absolute nonsense. But this is how a true trend is formed. Higher highs and higher lows. And generally, the slower trend is the true trend. I know it's very exciting to see that set of impulses kick off, like we've seen with a lot of other picks that we've talked about, Zcash, XRP, Helium, VeChain. Those V-shaped recoveries can come in hard and fast and erase months of downtrend sometimes in just a matter of days. So I think Algorand looks very good. Like we talked about, a lot of adoption there. If we go ahead and grab our fibs here, again, this is some of the opportunity I talk about when we talk about filling those gaps. The 236 and the 382 gaps are places that we hunt down. So if you guys are not interested in the long-term holds, you want to do rotational plays, you want to do swing trades, those are the gaps that we hunt down. So to that 236 gap, you're looking at over a 300, almost 400% move, and up into that 382 is about a 6x move, right? So you compare that to even Solana reaching a 4.236 extension, a macro 4.236, that's about the same risk to reward ratio with Algorand not even piercing a new high and just reaching, let's say, like a $1.16 to maybe a 73-cent price point. And again, I think that Algo goes significantly higher than that. I just want you guys to look at some of these opportunities because in retrospect, it's all very clear and you're like, shit, I wish I bought more. That was the bottom, right? And you see the multiple tests of support in there. You see the confirmations, you see the back tests, but nobody wants to act on those back tests. Everyone wants to act when the series of impulses kick off and they try to buy the shallow pullbacks, and it generally does not work out very well.
Maddie, so in October of last year on Algorand, that was the best time to be buying Algorand, but now we're hitting with the pullback right now. Is the moment right now on Algorand to DCA, or should you just drop one giant limit order?
I mean, I'd say that probably a limit is a decent idea right now. I mean, you can maybe target a little lower, maybe see if you get a pullback towards maybe 14 cents to 1.5 or 1.8 cents lower than current market. That might be stepping over dollars to pick up pennies, but where we see the market reacting right now with the V-shaped recoveries and a lot of the altcoin market seeing equities continue to just absolutely rampage higher, especially if you're like looking at your average and you're like, okay, my average is 35, 45, 55 cents. You could significantly lower your average right now at 16 because the downside risk, in my opinion, is going to be a revisitation of like this pocket in here, which is about minus 25% to the downside. So downside risk minus 25% to upside reward to the next potential short-term target, little over a 3 or 4x, right? So you're really mitigating most of your risk there. That to me is a very good risk to reward ratio.
Bobby Banks 77 says this correction is not over either. Get ready for lower than bear market prices. So if folks are so good at TA, then why did nobody see this 5-month correction?
Wow, a lot to unpack here, but it's all based on a very ignorant platform. So two parts. So let's just talk about that second part first. So folks are so good at TA, then why did nobody see this 5-month correction? Wrong. You guys can go back and roll back to all the videos we did here, all the videos that I've done on CryptoCharge.com. When we were kicking off with these impulses, I said over and over and over again, we are overdue for a correction. This is not sustainable. We have kicked off an enormous set of impulses. We need to come back. We need to correct. Now, have there been certain situations where I'm like, I'm still DCAing here, regardless of that, there could be further correction? Yeah, because macro, looking at my average, I'm still lowering my average, right? So there's going to be two parts to this. I'm not going to tell you how long it's going to take because nobody, how good you are at TA, can tell you how long something is going to take. Like we talk about many times with liquidity pockets, with rebalancing, sometimes it takes 10 days, sometimes it takes 1,000 days. There's a variety of different ways that prices can rebalance themselves. But when you see an unsustainable series of impulses, like we just talked about at the top of this example, you genuinely need, even if it's a small or shallow, a distributive period, a markdown period, and a reaccumulative period, and then you can resume your next piece of uptrend. So again, this is something I very much did call out, and you can go back and look at the receipts on that. Now, to the first part of your question, or the first part of your statement, I suppose, the correction is not over either. Get ready for lower than bear market prices. So first of all, where are you getting this information from, right? Like, you're telling me that it's crazy because I didn't tell you the exact time period that we would get this rebalancing of this correction. But on the same token, you're telling me guaranteed we're going to see lower the bear market prices. So first of all, put your money where your mouth is, bro. Let's see your short positions. Go ahead and post them in the comments. Let's see how bearish you are here. Let's see if you actually put your money where your mouth is. There's lots of guys like TXMC who are very good analysts, but for whatever reason decide to be macro doomers, but never actually short the market, right? So that shows a very low level of conviction for me. I'm all in. I'm very bullish. I am using this time to do a concentrated DCA right now. So I would like to know what your basis is for a sub $15,000 Bitcoin, a sub 30 cent XRP, right? You really need a bigger catalyst. We have inflation coming down. We have shelter coming down. We have unemployment looking kind of ugly right now. You have a presidential election coming up. You have equity markets rampaging in new all-time highs right now. And you're bearish on crypto, so bearish to the point where you think new all-time lows are coming this cycle. Come on, bro, get your head on straight and go ahead and drop some receipts as to why this is actually going to happen. Don't just make these, egregious claims.
Yeah, it's just emotional, Maddie, and you can go back to like every other Bitcoin cycle we were running up. Like, we saw moments like this, albeit some shorter than this one, but this is the same thing we have seen in multiple run-ups in higher Bitcoin prices. So this is nothing abnormal here, and you should take it as a gift, because obviously this is a emotional response, because he wants to see higher prices. And so like, okay, well, you guys didn't tell me this was gonna happen. You guys, and it's like, no, bro, like we take out all the narratives and we do strategic buying here. We do that more than everyone else. We take out like all the narratives and like, okay, how can we lock in on the charts right now and be as strategic as possible, so that when we see higher prices, like, none of these narratives are really like that interesting. Maddie, we were just looking at narratives before the show when we were like looking at the XRP price chart, and we were looking about July of last year when we saw XRP be declared as a non-security, and we saw a 2x in XRP, and that was just, you would think everyone was thinking like, oh, a 9, 10x XRP. It's like, no, we were in a bear market. So these are just the circumstances we are in. Don't get in over your head and just allocate accordingly. I don't know why that's so hard, man. I just don't know why.
You hit the nail on the head, though, man. It's really comes down to the emotions. I beg you guys to get trading journals. I beg you guys to spend a little bit of time on yourselves to, build that Jedi mindset, right? Like, remove your emotions from the process. And that goes on both sides. That means removing your emotions when we're in a bearish period and removing your emotions when we're in a bullish period. It's okay to be excited, but you have to plan the trade and trade the plan.
Wise. Jeff Taylor says, do you have any other airdrops as profitable as the Flare airdrop this bull run?
So I'm personally not someone who hunts down airdrops. There are plenty of pages out there dedicated to hunting down airdrops. The number one thing that I want you guys to always be careful about when we are talking about airdrops is never ever pile into the token just to receive the airdrop. So if you're required to buy a token you don't already own, so for example, let's say you already own XRP, and if you're an XRP holder, you can connect to XRP Toolkit, or you can move your coins onto exchange for the snapshot, and then you get that token. Great, absolutely capitalize on those free airdrop opportunities for tokens or coins that you already are involved with, or already own, or already are building a bag with, and make sure that you do whatever you need to do to connect to those platforms or whatever to make sure you get the airdrop. Don't ever chase the airdrop itself, though, because what happens more often than not, and the Solo is a good example of this, is that people bought a lot of Solo and price was moving up into the airdrop. The second the airdrop hits, why? Because there's no reason to, right? They got all their free crypto, the tokens are going to dump. So you either have to be ready to play that game and try to play hot potato and hope that you're going to be one of the first sellers upon the airdrop. And sometimes airdrops come in tranches, guys, right? Like, so not everyone gets the airdrop at the exact same time. So you might not be that first person, again, depending on the distribution system, to get that token. So that's going to be my advice to you guys. If you guys are interested in hunting down airdrops, it's personally not for me. I'm a very mid to long-term investor. I do obviously some swing trades and stuff, but none of it revolves around chasing down airdrops for me personally.
Rico Haynes, 1980. We can't do a background check on every person you hire. What? Your loyalty towards such utter BS projects like Casper and XRP have been disgustingly ignorant. It boggles the mind that you are still promoting these BS projects with over 2.4 million projects in coin market cap.
Wow, you guys really just came with a disgusting amount of ignorance yourselves with these comments. This is almost as bad as Bobby Banks' comment. Okay, first of all, just clearly you misquoting me here. And again, roll back on the receipts, baby, because I don't talk out of the side of my neck. I don't. I always come correct when I come with receipts. I said we as investors can't do a background check on everybody who's involved in a team. And that's true. Like, I can't do that on every single person. It would cost me a lot of money. There's a good chance I'm not going to find everything that I'm looking for. I never said that a company can't or should not do background checks on all of its employees. So check yourself, make sure you open your ears. Don't just run your mouth before you know what you're talking about. Your loyalty towards such utter BS like projects in Casper and XRP have been disgusting and ignorant. I don't understand why you're so upset. I really just talk about projects that I personally am invested in. I don't promote. I don't get paid. We've talked about this a million times. We don't receive any compensation from exchanges, projects, or otherwise. Now, let me get this straight. There are plenty of influencers out there that do this shotgun approach, and it's very effective for them making money for themselves. So the shotgun approach means you go and you scrape all of the most talked about projects on Twitter and YouTube and TikTok, and then you make short little videos on all of them, and you say, this one's going to do really well, and this one's going to do really well, this one's going to do really well, right? So you got 40 or 50 projects out there, and then 2 or 3 of them go crazy, and then you go ahead and capitalize on that. And then on top of that, guys, they're also getting compensated from these projects to talk about those projects. So they're receiving both tokens, they're receiving direct compensation to talk about those projects, and they're not even invested in most of the projects they're talking about. They are shotgun approaching you guys, all right? So the way that I've always run my channel, run my program, and again, like we did this grassroots, guys. Like, we didn't have any VC money. We put our own money into this. We put our own time and marketing into this, blood, sweat, and tears into this. It's to talk about stuff that we actually believe is good technology, stuff that we've done good research on, that we receive no compensation for. And again, on our show, consistently are transparent with you guys about what we're doing, when we're adding, when we plan on selling, all these different things. So first of all, XRP is a top 10 project. Even on CoinMarketCap, top 10 project has been even through the SEC lawsuit. So still remaining like top 20 during that time, which is really, really impressive. And then to your final piece there, over 2.4 million projects on CoinMarketCap. Wrong. Like, there's like 15, 20,000 maybe total cryptos out there if you're going to include all the shit coins out there. I don't know if you're including every tiny little NFT project, but it's not my job to, again, be a shotgun influencer or, buy everything in a blanket approach and hope that it all does well. I really do a very concentrated approach, and maybe that's not good for you, right? Maybe you want to be that guy that does the shotgun and buys 40 projects and hopefully one, outpaces the others and makes up for all your other losses. But that's not me, right? I care a lot about my money. I'm building positions not for today, but also for tomorrow and to be able to borrow against in the future. So if you don't want to buy XRP, you don't want to buy Casper, that's perfectly fine. We have a plethora of resources for you to go and do research and make your own decisions. That's, again, the biggest point of the show is we don't offer financial advice. We do research, we share those findings with you, we share with you guys what we're doing, and then you make a decision that's good for you and your portfolio. If XRP and Casper are not part of that, that's fine. Go buy the projects that you think you have the highest conviction in. But again, like, I'm not here to chase the newest shiny object. I've been around this space long enough to know that this space is going to continue to get cluttered until regulation comes in, and all of these massive amounts of projects you guys see, those will diminish. They will be more compliant. There will be a stricter process to get listed. And we won't have all these massive, just immediate, overnight 2x winners. You're going to have a lot more, less volatility in the space eventually, and you're going to have a lot more regulation. So I'm going to continue to double down and even triple down on products that I truly believe in and I've done a lot of research on. I have zero interest in shotgunning or chasing shiny new things.
And Maddie, just to make it a little bit more basic for these new people, so when we discuss background checks on people, what we mean by that is when you go onto the website of these projects, right, you're able to see the team, right? From there, you do like a LinkedIn scrape and see what these this is in relation to the new CTO at Casper Labs, right? And so that is the search that what you do. Is this guy qualified for this position? Is this guy going to add value to the team of the project, right? And just to actually like point something out, because I thought it was interesting, like, we have done background checks. I personally, and this was like why I was so against one of the Casper meme coins, and you can go check this. This is very valid. Wrecked Wojak is a guy that watches our show. He's a big Casper bull, but he has crypto projects that have failed before he came out with this Fatso token, right? And I know there's Maddie, we have friends, or you have friends at least, that are big in the Casper community and rah 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 with everyone that's pro Casper. But I just have to say that, and that is why, like, when we talk about meme coins, like, we distance ourselves. But when we talk about people, we do look at people. And I saw, you can look up the Fatso token creator and you can go scrape and see his previous project, his Wojak token before, and look at people that missed out on that. I was like, what happened to this project? Where are the tokens? And so we do the due diligence of researching that background. The problem is, and Maddie, I think you used a great term for this, a shotgun influencer, because these regular creators will not do a technical analysis or fundamental analysis. They will go to CoinMarketCap, go to the top 100 cryptos, and do at least 6 videos a day, 4-minute videos, and just run through quickly of the project and give a price prediction or something stupid like that. So we are not shotgun. I think you guys have got this by now. We are not shotgun influencer channel. Our purpose here, but we are not here to go after the next shiny new thing. We are here to look in that middle ground. We've talked about this before. Not the meme coin land, and we're not Bitcoiners. We fall somewhere in the middle, and we try to take a level-headed approach with every new crypto project, and we do the research on every new asset or every new project that we're going to add to our portfolio, so that we do our due diligence. We don't want to have projects that go to zero. That tarnishes our name. So if you find yourself with the influencer and their projects are going to zero and they just shake it off, you need to reevaluate the stuff you are watching, because that's very dire, and that affects your money. You go to work, you go to your 9-to-5 job to earn $25, and then you invest that $25 into crypto, and then that $25 goes to zero, and albeit you might get some projects that do well, but the fact that your $25, that hour that you put into that work, went to zero, I don't know about you, but that would feel pretty bad in my mind. I don't know if I would mentally recover from that if that happened on a larger scale, when we're talking about a couple thousand, tens of thousands of dollars, and it's going to zero. It's like, oh, there's all those hours of work I put in, all for nothing, right? So last question here. Angel says, this bull run, Casper or XRP?
I think that this is going to be a good point to make here, and this is kind of why I have like a blended approach with my portfolio. Some people have always, even asked me like, Matt, you love XRP so much, like you think that it's gonna be worth this much potentially in the future, and you see all this utility. Why not just go all in on XRP? And part of it is, that long-term plan with XRP. And so I think that XRP is probably going to continue to be one of my largest long-term bags that I continue to build on each and every bear market, to be able to borrow against in the future, because I do think that XRP is going to continue to be a top 10 crypto. I think it's going to be even more widely adopted than it is now. We have, again, so many partnerships through Ripple's ODL program. There's a lot of banks that have NDAs with Ripple right now in relations to implementing an XRP. So I do think that it's going to be a really good long-term winner. Now, that's not to say that I have doubts that Casper can't be a long-term winner. The plays are a little different here, though, right? The XRP ROI is factually less than Casper from, a risk-reward standpoint, right? You look at some of the liquidity zones, you get Casper at less than its all-time high. That is a bigger reward than XRP making a new all-time high. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. So part of the ideology, though, is especially, being able to take some of those profits from Casper, being able to be liquid, in this next market, is be able to potentially either reinvest in Casper, reinvest in a new gem that you find that is maybe more competitive than something like Casper, but being able to dump that back into your highest conviction plays. And for me, that is XRP. So it's kind of a little bit of a blended approach there. The goal, though, is to build consolidated bags of long-term plays in conjunction with letting some of that ride and being able to invest in some of the new projects, some smaller projects. But that's also part of risk management, guys, right? So like, if it's not all buying micro caps because they have the highest ROI, it's the blended approach. So yeah, there's gonna be more volatility in something like Casper, and maybe a little bit less volatility in something like XRP, especially as market cap grows. But you also have the potential for more short-term growth in something like a smaller cap like Casper. So again, guys, you look at my portfolio, which you guys can go see the orientation of on cryptocharge.com. You see that it is a blend of small, mid, and large cap tokens.
Team, thanks for joining us today. We went a little bit over there and got a little passionate there, but it's because we're a little bit, you can tell, we're a little bit passionate about crypto here, and we are here for a reason. We're not here to, garner viewership so that we can one day, I mean, we already are, but like, garner in this AdSense money from YouTube. No, we are trying to take you somewhere, and that is Crypto Charge to join the rest of the family over there, the Crypto Charge community, so that we can all celebrate, sing kumbaya, and sell the top. But Maddie, that is all we have for today, team. If you got something valuable today, make sure you like the video. We will see you next week. Bye.